everyone. I hope you are doing well today. Let's see. I need to press a button, the react button. There we go. I hope you are doing well. I was delighted to see that Mark had solved this puzzle that we're going to watch in a moment. From the title, which is such a terrible solve, I'm going to guess it doesn't go super well. I'll talk about this a little bit into the video, but my setting process for this puzzle did not go super well either, because I set the entire puzzle and then realized that the first clue that I placed was broken, because I ended up, and I'll show you the actual grid of what my first version of this puzzle looked like at a later point, but spoiler, it did not go well. So Mark and I can commiserate somewhat about whatever happens to Mark as we go through this. I saw some people in the comments speculating, because this is a Rossini puzzle, which is a not especially common variant. I think it used to be common in the before times, in the long ago. But I have done, I think, 2 Rossini puzzles. The second of which was the puzzle that Clover made for the Zodiac series. So if you are a regular zetamath reacts to cracking the cryptic solving one of his puzzles viewer, the last puzzle that I reacted to a solve of was Simon solved From A to Zeta, a Zodiac puzzle, which is a mouthful for a title of one of my puzzles. My puzzles usually have one-word titles, but anyway, that's a puzzle from a long-running puzzle series, and the person who set the next puzzle in the series was Clover, who set a Rossini puzzle, which I was delighted to test and enjoyed, and so then I set my own Rossini puzzle, and Clover was the first to test this puzzle as well. Okay, so that's probably enough preamble that we can start and get through the rules explanation and see how Mark starts this. We have a guess.
Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and the opportunity to do a zetamath puzzle today. This is of a style that I have known for 15 to 20 years. Rossini Sudoku.
15 to 20.
I'll
wow,
explain the rules in a moment when we get there, but it's intriguing to see this sort of puzzle still being set these days, and I'm delighted that zetamath has done so, and I'm keen to give it a go. I will
I thank you, Isabella. Yeah, I was quite happy with how this came out.
I know about Rossini Sudoku that's useful when we get there. Now, first of all, don't forget, on Patreon, as well as lots of videos about crosswords and gridogram and connections, we do, of course, have the Spider-Man Sudoku Hunt, May's monthly reward, battle Spider-Man's enemies and get to the end. Many people have already, and well done to them. Now, that's one thing, Patreon. The other thing that is really important to tell you about is our apps, which feature classic Sudoku 2, lots of individual types of Sudoku, but also the worms. Blobs' Eclectic Sudoku Worm is the latest and features 12 different rule sets across 12 different 6x6 puzzles, each connected from the last.
I love Blobs
really
puzzles.
Is very good fun. Strongly recommend that and the other apps. And of course, we've also got a bit of merchandise as well, including Marty's fantastic Rat Run merch. So do check that out. But the first link under the puzzle is to this. The first link, under the video.
Did they ever actually publish my worm? I know that every time one of my puzzles comes up and Simon solves it, Simon mentions how any day now they're going to actually publish it. But I do not know if they actually have or not. I did something to slightly torture them with it, which is the cause of this.
In the description field is to orientation by zetamath. And I'm going to read the rules. So normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, column, and 3x3 box. We get a few given digits. Not always the case these days. Now, arrows indicate.
So I will say, in terms of given digits, in an ideal perfect world, I'd have had these 2 given digits, which are part of the break-in, and not had these 3. However, in the spirit of keeping this puzzle relatively approachable-ish, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it was possible to miss these or to not have these without having some other type of clue. And I wanted this to be a pure Rossini puzzle. It's sort of interesting to sort of think theoretically, like how many grids are there where there's combinations of arrows around the outside for Rossini rules that would make the grid unique. But yeah, I definitely intended these two given digits, and then the rest were just sort of necessary in order to resolve to a unique grid.
The direction in which the
Hey,
first
David,
three
thank you.
digits in that row or column nearest the arrow increase or decrease. For instance, row 7, column 1, 2, and 3 feature that being less than this, being less than this. So the arrow is pointing in the increasing direction. That is the bit I find the hardest to remember. When I've been solving this sort of puzzle before, and I've only done about 4 or 5, but
I have seen, so I've watched a few people solve this, and I did see a few people who I consider to be quite reasonable solvers struggling with getting the arrows backwards. I think Tristan got one of the arrows backwards. I know Kai got one of the arrows backwards, just in terms of not finding it super intuitive which direction the arrows point. I don't know why it did not bother me when I was solving Clover's puzzle or this one, so I was a little surprised, but I'd be curious if maybe there is a, now that we have things like Sudoku Maker, I wonder if there is a way to present Rossini that makes it a little more clear exactly what direction the numbers increase in. Because it's not the sort of thing that I want someone's cognitive load to be going towards, is remembering what direction the arrow point means.
Just can't get in my head whether the arrow is pointing in the increasing or decreasing direction, but it's pointing.
Oh, David says the Sunday chat hasn't let him chat. I wonder why. You can chat and join Tristan's streams, but not mine. Tristan, do you have any idea what's going on with that? I don't know. I know Tristan is, or at least was watching. He might have fallen asleep, but I think some people are able to chat, but yeah, I don't have any idea if that's a sort of serious issue with anyone. Anyone else let me know in the comments, because if we have any more data points, it will help sort of locate what the issue might be. But we'd certainly like you to be able to chat, David.
In the increasing direction. If no arrow, there is a negative constraint. If no arrow appears adjacent to a row or a column, like these three, then the 3 digits must not be in increasing or decreasing order. Oh, bother. Zetamath now gives away the one thing I know about Rossini Sudoku, which I find useful, which is that in that case, the middle digit must be the highest or the lowest. Oh, well, that's... Why don't you tell everyone my secret? Oh, it's in the rule.
It's because I copy-pasted Clover's rules for Rossini. That is the answer.
That's harsh. Well, it is nonetheless the case. I am conscious that I'm not allowed in the YouTube description field to use these greater than or less than signs. Doesn't like anger.
Oh, so funny story about the greater than less than signs that Mark has realized he can't use. I didn't realize that immediately, and so I published this on LMD, not thinking about it at all. And then David, actually, in chat, was the first person to message me to say, can you look at the LMD page? Something's off. And it was because I had recklessly used a less than sign in the middle of what is some sort of like HTML light format or something, whatever LMD uses. And so it had interpreted the less than sign to mean something that was not what I wanted it to mean. And so it just garbled all the rest of the text.
Brackets. So I'm going to have to write that out as, for instance, row 7 column 1 is less than row 7 column 2, which is less than row 7 column 3.
That's exactly what I did on the LMD
That's a
page.
special feature of YouTube that sometimes messes up my attempts to put rule sets in. Anyway, do give it a try on the first link under the video. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm going to say let's get cracking. So, oh, look, I have such trouble looking at these arrows and knowing what they mean that I am going to put in thermos using the pen tool.
I think putting in
and
thermos
that you
is
may
perfectly
think this is
reasonable.
ridiculous, but look, there's a sort of thermo, and there's another one.
This
And
is
I
what I
don't
do for
care if
skyscrapers
this is
a
a
lot
bit
of the time.
laborious. It's going to help me.
When I know that in a skyscraper puzzle, a certain string of digits are all in order, I draw in exactly the thermos he's drawing in. So I think this is an eminently reasonable thing to do.
Ah, yeah, no, that's good actually.
Does actually help.
I can now delete that circle because I've got basically a thermo that goes around the corner. That is another interesting technique in Rossini
Tris did
and
solve
indeed
this one.
sometimes even in skyscraper Sudoku.
Did solve this, yes.
Is that you get these kind of chains of greater than or less than, and they're very much worth considering. So, okay, well that's all that we're given, I think, in terms of the arrows. And I realise these can be a bit confusing where there's overlaps, but this looks like a useful 5-cell thermo that's effectively designed within the grid. There's another one here actually. These 5 cells must keep increasing from here, because when they hit here they become a thermo going up there. When they hit there they become a thermo going that way. So there are these sort of extra clues, I think. But I'm actually going to start up here where these digits have to be greater than 5 and 6. So they're from 7, 8 or 9. Well, okay, that didn't get me very far. I'm being dense here, aren't I? Actually, it's slightly interesting to ask where 7, 8 and 9 go in column 1. Those 2 cells are available for 8 and 9. But so is that. Well,
Poor
where
Mark.
does 9 go? One of those 2. No, I don't know. That's not quite how to solve it, is it?
So the thing that's intended here is that Mark realized that this cell is a 7, 8, 9 by the negative constraint, at which point what he's saying is all exactly what is needed to solve the puzzle. However, when I saw the title, I skipped to halfway through the video. So I know it takes him a very long time to realize this, because when I skipped to halfway through the video, this cell wasn't pencil marked yet. So we're going to be here for a bit, but just to share, when I set this puzzle, I originally set up to make this triple. But in my original version, in 1 second, I might have to adjust the mode. Remind me to change it back. Uh-oh. One moment. Sudoku. There we go. Here's the original version of the puzzle with the completed grid that I attempted to make that would allow this to work. The somewhat tragic thing that happened after I had finished the entire puzzle was this. I don't know why I decided when I set this, by the way, that I would start with 5 and 7 instead of 5 and 6 or something like that. But basically the whole idea was I was going to make exactly the same triple as my break-in that I made in the final version of this. But then I only noticed when test solving it that this clue is just a lie. So I had to remake the whole thing from scratch. Now, it's somewhat amazing that actually the final puzzle, if you look at where the arrows are, it is strikingly similar, because almost all the intended logic here works almost verbatim in the real version of the puzzle that we got. But just if it makes Mark feel any better, that I also had a bit of a adventure with this. Hopefully that helps a little bit, because you can see what I did here. All right, we can go back to the React scene. There we go. Haha.
Okay, I'm missing something very obvious here, I imagine. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I should be using the negative constraint straight away. That doesn't feel plausible. Or how about this thing? Oh, this digit can't be a 7.
All right, we're back, I think. Did anyone see the part where I went over the like broken version of this puzzle that I made? Because I think I was talking for a long time while no one could actually see anything, and I don't know how much of that did or did not actually get seen. You saw that. Okay, excellent. Okay. So, in that case, so at least the start of that. Yeah. So let's continue with Mark's search for box 1. Poor Mark. I feel very bad about this.
9 there would force that to be
I
a
should
7,
probably
8
put my earbuds in.
pair. In fact,
this is one of those moments that is like something you see experienced solvers do, and you've seen Mark and Simon do this a lot in puzzles that they've solved, where they've where they're such experienced solvers that they basically are looking at not the step that they're seeing, but the next step. So like Mark has identified that this puzzle is fundamentally asking him to think about 7, 8, and 9 in column 1, even though he's missing a key piece of that that would telegraph it much more loudly. So like it's quite impressive that he sort of has that instinct from looking at puzzles for so long about like what it is he's supposed to be looking at, even though he's sort of seeing one step ahead of where he is, at which point then it will be much easier for him.
right. Okay, what I'm going to do in this column then is to say I'm going to mark these up actually. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be anything up to 6. It can't be 7 because of the 8 in the row. It couldn't go 7, 8, 9. Now, if this digit wasn't 7, 8, or 9, then 7, 8, and 9 would go in these cells.
Good Liffing has arrived. The Good Liff himself.
I feel like this is very difficult, but maybe I'm missing the point. I don't know. Sorry, I'm faffing around here. I've nearly got my brain onto something.
We are so back,
But I haven't
indeed.
quite got it. I'm wondering, doesn't this digit have to be fairly high? This thermo can't end in 8 or 9. So it's a little bit constrained. That's not uninteresting.
Are you sure? I'm not sure about that claim, but we'll see how it goes.
No, maybe it's not that interesting. I feel like this thermo must increase quite significantly by the time it's got to its second and third cell.
I wonder if Mark is going to find
Did
a
that
completely
rule
different
mean
way
that
around
this had to be quite low.
As sometimes Mark and Simon are wont to do.
No, maybe not. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know how to start this. That's becoming painfully clear. I'm going to mark up this Z pentomino that I found.
I mean, at least glad this is happening to Mark and not Simon, because Simon tends to really beat himself up when he eventually sees the thing that he missed for a bit.
There's not many places for one in this column. There's there and there. I will say I am glad I put in the thermos, because I think I'd be really struggling to even understand the puzzle without
My
them.
next step was something about reading the rules.
I still think it's column 1, and I'm just botching.
Isabella, he did say like about 5 minutes ago that he's like, oh, maybe the first step is something to do with a negative constraint. And then he said, oh, but no, there's nowhere in the grid where that could happen, which I almost agree with him about. Unfortunately, there's a problem with the almost.
Where do these 4 digits go in column 1? Now, I don't know what they are. But they must include this cell. Those 4 digits, let's call them yellow. Where do they go in column 1? They don't go in box 1. So obviously one of them could go there. A 5 or a 6 could go there. That could be one of them.
Yes, he did.
But then at least one of these is one of those digits. And
I, in quotes, spelled out the negative meta in the rules because I just copy-pasted Clover's version of the rules, because I was guessing Clover probably used the version that she'd used for gas, because I solved a Clover gas Rossini, I'm pretty sure, at some point in the past. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to improve upon Clover's version of the rules that she has used by attempting to write it myself, so I just used hers, but she included that, which I was like, okay, that probably means it's a good idea.
And that means that the highest digit here must be at least one of those, because if one of those digits went in a lower cell, the higher digit would be higher still. So this digit is at least 5.
Oh God, he's going to get a 1, 2, 3. Oh, not quite. He's going to almost, but not quite, get a 1, 2, 3, 4
and that is
quadruple.
quite constrained.
And row 7.
Oh goodness! When you look at that combined.
Yeah, Ambrose, if you're not aware, Full Deck and Missing a Few Cards on their website have a page that just has rules that is amazing, and I use it anytime I can copy paste rules from it.
With these. Feels like there's a lot of high digits, unless this is definitely a 4. That is a set of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, I didn't know Bremser had a deck. I used to use a deck that Ranks put together.
1, 2, or 4.
Would maybe be a great thing if the community agreed on one place to put this, but it requires a kind of organization that I think this community doesn't generally have.
Where's the negative constraint coming into play somewhere?
Follow that. I do think actually...
that is a 7, 8, 9 triple. This digit is not 7, 8, or 9. It's no more than 6.
Oh boy, we have found...
and this has now become 1, 2, or 3.
That's fascinating.
That's beginning to form most of a quadruple. Okay, that's
I do think the thermos being drawn in is very useful. However, I do think it has made it harder to see that he's supposed to be looking at the negative constraint on these three cells because it's perpendicular to the thermos that he has sort of drawing the eye. So I think it might be slightly the way he's drawn in the thermos that makes this hard to see.
789 triple. This is from 1, 2, 3, or 4 because it sees 5 and 6 in the books. Ah, it's interesting. Don't quite know what it's done, but it's done something. Now, 9 is not in this row because of that. We now know it's not in this row. So it's in this row and it's not here because of the 789 triple. So it's in one of those two cells. But remember, this has no arrow, so this middle digit is either the lowest or the highest in the row. So that's kind of the favourite to be 9 in my mind, but I suppose 9 could be there. One of these two is a 7 by the 789 triple.
His ability to remember where he has pairs and triples, just that like raw Sudoku bit really impresses me because I'll see it and I'll write something in and then it's gone from my mind almost instantly when I see something like that 789 triple in column 3.
Is this easier than I'm finding it? Maybe it is. I don't know how.
We all have our blind spots at moments.
I'm actually going to mark this up because it can't be 3, 9, 5, or 6. It can't be 1 in that position. So this is 2, 4, 7, or 8. This digit can't be 9 though because we've got that obviously. So it's not 8 here. If it's a 7,
I'm really concerned we're going to find the most bizarre like bent triple to resolve this or something. Like are we going to resolve this with a Y wing or something? That would be amazing.
Whereas if it's a 2, that's a 1 and this is 3. In fact, if this is 2 or 4, this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple of some significance because then we have to have 5, 6, 7 down here.
Yeah, the
no,
video title
I'm reading
does
that
not.
The wrong way around. I'm so sorry. If that's 2 or 4, that frees this up to be a big digit. Somehow I was still reading this thermo the wrong way around, even though I've drawn it in as a thermo.
The title bodes poorly.
It's very foolish of me. Oh, we need a 9 in this row. Let's put it in one of those two cells. We need a 7 in the row. That's either also there or definitely at the end here. Now, 3 of these are from 5, 6.
I think we're back. Sorry about this. This has been a more adventurous experience than usual.
So this one can't be. This must be from 1, 2, 3, 4. Because if that was from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then all 6 would be from that group of 5 digits.
Does sound like too many.
This column is interesting, partly from the point of view of sort of where do 1 and 2 go. I mean, yeah, they don't have to avoid the lines, but they're very forcing on the lines if they appear on them.
You can't put both 1 and 2 in these two cells, I suppose.
Now, These two can't both be from 1, 2, 3, 4 because of that triple. I mean, it's a triple out of 4 digits, but it means that this can't be from 1, 2, 3, 4 because that would also be, and then 5 of them would be, and that's too many. So this is 5 or 6. That's 6 or 7.
Man,
and
if he'd seen that third
down
cell
to
being
at
7,
least
8, 9, he would have just torn this puzzle to
only
pieces.
at most 2 possibilities for each cell. We're also definitely using 3 out of 6, 7, 8, 9. And that means this can't be from 6, 7, 8, 9 because that would necessitate 5 digits from 6, 7, 8, 9 in the row. So that's 4 or 5. And that's reducing this considerably to 3 or 4, this one to 3 or 2, and this one to 1 or 2. Now, I haven't got a single digit in the puzzle yet, but that's given me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple, and this digit must be 5 now, because it's the only one of them that can be a 5.
That's amazing.
Right, this one is higher. That's a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad. These are all from 1, 2, 3, 4. This digit can't be
amazed
3.
that we can get this way.
This is higher than 5 because that was a quintuple. In fact, everything else in the box is 6, 7, 8, or 9. Down here, we can't... We've used 3 of the 1, 2, 3, 4 digits. So by the time we get here, we must be into higher digits.
Quintuple.
Now, I feel like the negative constraint wants to be used a bit somewhere. Oh, look, right up here. Obviously, this trio, because of the negative constraint, that has to be higher so that this bounces down and up again. If that was low, this would have an arrow. Oh, that's so obvious. So this digit is from 1, 2, 3, 4. 15 minutes before I've seen the absolutely most obvious thing in the puzzle, having explained it carefully. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad. These must be 5, 6, 7 now. And now we are just cooking. That's a 6. These aren't. These digits are 1, 2, 3, 4 in some order. That's an 8, 9 pair, and we know where the 9 goes. I mean, that was the simplest thing. And it got easier in a hurry. I mean, I was asking, somewhat rhetorically, am I just missing something obvious? And I totally was. Right, that 9 means this is a 7, 8 pair, and that digit is 9. Now, down this column, we need a 7. I can't put the 7 here because this would be a descending sequence then. So I am going to put the 7 there.
That is one of my
1, 2,
favorite,
3,
like,
4.
I mean, it comes up in this puzzle a lot, but the, like, negative constraint is sort of often applicable in really weird situations where it feels like you shouldn't be able to apply it because you sort of know what digits are left. And so even though there might be like 5 possibilities for this, they're all less than 7, so you can't put the 7 there.
Well, we've got 3 of those in this box so far. Do need a 6 in one of these cells, and a 5 actually, but I don't know how to deal with them. Right, down here, these digits must be smaller than the one below them because otherwise, well, because of the negative constraint and the way they must bounce down or back up. So we can't have a 4 in those cells and we can't have a 1 in those. And look, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad where only one digit can be a 1.
Good.
This isn't quite a quad yet. We need one more digit for that to occur. But 5 is looking at that cell, and these are all from 6, 7, 8, 9. This one's not allowed to be.
Yeah, just as a style thing, if I'm going to do a puzzle with the negative constraint in it, the negative constraint is going to come up dozens of times if I can help it. And so like the worst kind of negative constraint puzzle is the kind of negative constraint puzzle where the negative constraint is used exactly once 80 minutes into the solve. I try not to do that. If I'm going to put a negative constraint in a puzzle, I tend to really heavily use it.
Innate by Sudoku. Oh, but these are interesting. There's no arrows here. That is lower than that in each case.
Box 8 is probably my
This
favorite box.
digit in the middle
this,
either has
puzzle.
to be the lowest possible in the sequence or the highest.
Audio's cutting in and out. It's possible that's true. We've been having internet horror all day, so it wouldn't shock me if the if the audio is being a little bit weird. So I don't know if he's going to immediately say this, but the fact that 5 is placed in box 8 right now is probably my favorite step in the puzzle.
They can't both be, these two cells, let's call them yellow for now, they can't both be 1 and 2 because that would break this pair. They can't both be from 1, 2, 3, 4 because we've already got 3 of them. So one of them is higher than 1, 2, 3, 4, and that, at least one of them, and that one must be higher than the number below.
Yeah, box 7 is like a nice little intro to the negative constraint and how powerful it is, because you can, like, if the more you look at box 7, the more that you see that you can do until you realize that you can reduce box 7 to one single pair.
And that means it's going to be 9, 8, or 7, whichever one that is, and that's going to complete the set of 9, 8, 7, 6. The other one is going to have to be lower than the top digit. So one of these is from...
So you're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 in this box, and no, he has an octuple?
That's just weird. And neither of them is a 5. The only place for 5 in the box seems to be there.
There we go. Okay. We didn't say the word octuple to place the 5.
So strange. Such a strange way of getting there as well. Now, this
is absolutely, by the way, the exact way he thought about it is how I thought about it when I was setting it, because at the time I was setting it, there wasn't a lot else. So it was like, I know one of these 3 sets exactly, and I know the other set of 3 exactly, but I don't know what order they go in or anything else about them. It was very much like the way he reasoned about it.
Digit has to be lower than this one. We've also got these to consider, where this one is either higher and lower than the one. Right, this mustn't ascend, so that must be 8 before 7. Okay, that's good. It's not going to do anything else. Such an odd puzzle. 8, 7, 3. Right, there is an 8 in this group. Don't want to use too many corner marks. They're sort of a bit getting in the way. This digit can't be 9 or 8. So that's at most 7. 6, 4, 3, or 2. 1, 3, 4, or 5. No, that could be 2 again. Well, that didn't really help. Nine can't be there or there. 9 has to...
Something fascinating about Mark's brain that the idea of using too many corner marks would clutter things up too much. I in general feel that, like, too many pencil marks clutter things up, and I try to avoid them, but it's clear from his pursuit that he views that corner marks clutter things more than center marks, which is interesting.
To be in one of these 3 cells. So it's definitely in one of these 2. And it's not in those. How about 9 in this box? It's ruled out by Sudoku from those and by Thermo or whatever we're normally doing from those. So 9's in one of those 2.
Good.
Now it can't be in these cells and must be here. And that now places it into box 8 here. Now, this must be low then. This can't be the other high digit. So this one is low and is higher than that. No, is lower than that to avoid having an arrow.
Oh, poor Mark.
So this is 1, 2, or 3. And this is our 1, 2, 3, 4 set. And this digit is high and has to be higher than this one. So this is 7 or 8. This is 7 or 6. We've now got a 7, 8 pair in the row. We've actually had that before. One of these is 6. I don't know. I don't know what else to do with that. That being from 1, 2, or 3 at least stops the last digit being 3 for stacking. We'd have 3, 2, 1 there, breaking
I'm glad that Mark is
In
all
fact,
over that
this
deduction.
we've got
this deduction about, like, if you've got a bunch of low digits going in a column or row, then you can't use too many more low or high digits in that column. That is something I've been using a lot. Like, that was also in the break-in of my previous puzzle before this one. So it's something I've been enjoying lately, and Mark is all over it.
2 from 1, 2, 3, 4. So this can't be from 4 either. Can't be 4, because all 5 of those would be from 1, 2, 3, 4 in that case. 9, 9, we've got a 9
I don't know.
there.
I
6,
like the
7,
name
8
stacking
as a
for it, but
triple. Right, whichever one of these is not 9 is no more than 5. So one of these endings is 5 or 4, and I know I can't go below that because 1 has been ruled off these circles. So whichever one is 5 or 4, if it was this one, we'd have to go 5. Well, that one can't be 5. If this was low, we'd go 4, 3, 2, but then we'd have to go down again to here. So that is not the low one. This is the low one. 5 or 4 here, 4 or 3, 3 or 2. This digit is the 9. That's clever. That is a clever bit of setting.
Yeah, in the original version of this, just these 2 arrows without this one, you can actually figure out that one of these 2 cells has to be a 3 and one of these 2 has to be a 2 just by thinking about how things work. But I was actually quite happy to not have that be a requirement for the final version of the puzzle. There's a little 7, 8 down here that's resolved by the negative constraint that he hasn't noticed.
Now, the 2, 3, he's doing that can't be a 1. That's 2, 3, or 4. That's got to ascend. Well, I'm going to put in 3, 4, 6, or 7, and then something between 4 and 8 at the top. And this one, what about this cell? 5, 8, and 9 have gone in the row. I don't know, 4, 6, or 7. It sees 5 and 8 in the row. Is this forming a triple or something? There's a 1 to come in the box in one of those cells. That means neither of these can be 1. That means one of these.
I really, really liked the 9 looks into this box and corner marks a 9 looking down, and 1 looks into this box and corner marks a 1 looking over the other way. Like that flow to me, I really liked those two, both crisscrossing through this box.
That means this one isn't 1, and that's not 2, and this isn't 3. Now there is a 1 in one of those 2 cells.
I know which one it isn't in.
And that probably stops as a chain of activity. This has become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple. So that's an 8, 9 pair. Didn't know that had happened. There is an 8 somewhere in the top row of box 3. Now, I haven't been thinking much about the negative constraint for a little while. This is definitely higher than this, and therefore this must be lower than this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. That's not actually very helpful. Okay, what about that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple? The 1 is in one of the circles. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know after that. This digit is from a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad, and it's the same as that one, so that can't be a 4. That's 2 or 3.
There's a 3, 4 pair in column 8 that you can use.
Got another 1, 2, 3, 4 quad down column 2. I think I'm being incredibly slow at this puzzle, but I'm still going to persevere and plug away. That's what I do. 7 in this column's in one of 2 places. Oh, we had that 7, 8 triple pair there. That can't be 8. 7, 8, 6, 9. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is that.
All true.
This digit can't be 8. 8 is ruled out by that pair from here. This digit can't be 8 because we would definitely have a sequence going down here. So that digit is the 8. It's probably going to do nothing else. This now needs to be the lowest in the row. Otherwise this row would be a sequence. So this can't be where 1 goes. 1 must go there.
Good.
That did do something. So what about this? This can't be a 7, so there must be a 7 in this row, and it must be next to the 9 to allow the sequence to work. This also can't be 6, so that's the only place for 6 in the box. This is from 2, 3, 4, or 5. And I think all of these rows are obeying the arrows or the lack of arrows, which is good. That's where we want to be. Now this column seems to have a 3, 4 pair, and I can write in 2 at the bottom and take out 2, 3, and 4 from that cell, which reduces this one to a definite 7 since it can't be 6. Now that's good. 8, 6, 7, 9, 1. We need a 5 in one of those cells. I don't know which, but it stops this being a 5. So that's a 6. This is whatever we need to complete the column. That's an 8. Yeah, and those 8 and 9 will be the highest digit in their rows. That's doing a good job for us. We have to not have a sequence here. Yeah, I don't know how to. Oh, this can't be 6 anymore. So that's 2, 3, or 4, reducing this one to 1, 2, or 3. And now there's only one place for 5 in the row. Can't be there either. But still 2 places for 4. Now I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad in column 6. Everything else in the column is from 5, 6, or 7. That one C's a 7. Right, 8, 9 here, 5, 8, 9, 7, 6. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4. That is giving me a quad in the box, and these are from 5, 6, 7. You get these quads all over
this puzzle.
Now, there's no particular sequences to avoid going down here. That's all resolved. That can't be a 5 by Sudoku. So, what's going on in the central column? Anything? 3, 5.
Yeah, not noticing this 7, 8.
Not quite sure.
Hung him up a bit, or made him do harder work. Is maybe a better way to put it.
This row, 6 has appeared, so that can't be a 6. So these only have 1. Well, we do have to have a 6 in this box in one of these cells. Okay, that's not very exciting. We've got some 5s. We need a 5 in one of these two, don't we? 9, 8, 6, 7. Everything else apart from that 5 is 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, Empress mentioning something that shows up a lot in my brain as well, which is that you want to like also apply the negative constraint once you internalize it to like box 2 going this way, or also box 5, but it doesn't apply in those. Sort of like the corners are kind of the most interesting boxes, and then you get a little traction in boxes 2, 4, 8 and none at all in box 5. But it was quite intentional that for this puzzle it sort of flows from this corner box to this corner box to this corner box to this corner box, and then the puzzle is basically over.
I've said 1 is in one of those cells, so this can't be a 1. One of those two is a 1 now. Again, it's just finding the bit. Yeah, this can't be a 1 because this would be a sequence. So that must be the 1 in the row. I did that something very similar north of that. Now, this has to be lower than this. So this is now 3 or 4, and that's a pair in the column, and that's a 2. These can't have a 2 in. So that's a 1-3 pair that I've got highlighted, and this digit is a 4, and that's a 3. Neither of these are 3, and now this blue cell is a 3. That one's a 1.
Something went wrong, because now he's broken the negative
2. Okay, this box is all... Oh, no, it's not all sorted. And in fact, this is
where
wrong.
The real version of the puzzle doesn't have a...
That's 621. It's
maybe
definitely
he
wrong.
messed up a pencil mark somewhere.
So how long ago did I go wrong? Let's just go back to here. I liked putting that 1 in. And that stopped this being a 1. And I thought this had to go bouncing down and back up. So I thought that was a fair 3, 4. This becomes 2. But now I should look at this. This needs to be a 3. But then I'm never going to get a 1 in the box. Oh, that's really weird. I've gone wrong somehow.
I feel like someone probably would have pointed it out by now in the puzzle. It turned out that there was actually a row that was...
I don't know how.
Was wrong.
So I've gone wrong before.
You just took
this.
1 out of row 6, column 3 for no reason. I was wondering how you
when
knew
I
that row
was
6,
marking
column
up
3 wasn't
that
1.
I mean, it's ages before. That's the trouble, and I don't know where I went wrong. This box is very difficult to fulfill unless that's a 1.
That is very true.
Yeah, I could have done this ages ago. That has to be a 1. So this is because either you get a 1 there and you've got a sequence here. Well, that's why. And these can't be 1s. That seems to be a 2-3 pair based on what I've been working on. So that's a 4. This is then a 3. And I mean, this is where it starts going wrong. That makes this a 3. That now makes this a 2. And then this 5 has to work as well. So we've got to go 5, 3, 4 to make that right. That would be a 4. This would be a 2. Something's going to go wrong at the top here. That's a 3.
I may have slightly broken
3.
mark.
3, 8, 7. I mean, I wonder... That could be a 5 now. 1 and 6 to go. This is not allowed to be a 1. Well, maybe it was because I marked 1 into one of those 2 cells and I hadn't considered that it could go there. Maybe that was the error. So I've probably fixed that if that was the error. Good. Okay, well, apologies for making a pencil marking error.
I think...
It is the sort of error I do
that
sometimes
he,
make where I
determined
think
it by
1 is confined there because I'm just not looking at this
not
fairly
considered.
busy cell. Anyway, okay, so I think we're all right again now, but I mean, I could be deluding myself. 3, 4, 5, 8, 6, 7. That can't be 3 or 4, 3, 4 or 5, so that's 1 or 2. That negative constraint was incredibly powerful down here. I hadn't quite understood that. We've got this column to consider as well. That can't be 2, or else that column would run one way or the other.
Very true.
So now there's definitely a 2 in those cells. And that can't be 2. These are from 1, 2, 9. I don't know. 9, 2, 6, 8. One of these is a 7. That's not interesting. That is 2 or 4. So in this column... Well, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quad.
Yeah, look at the bottom of that column. That would be helpful.
I don't know how it works. We've taken 3 out of all of these cells. 9, 3, 8. 1, 7. This is 2, 4, 5, or 6.
Yeah, the thermo
That's
notation might make
bigger
it harder to
than
read as the puzzle goes
below.
on.
Right, let's try and get this just done. These are all, that can't be a 3, can it? So there's a 3 in one of those cells. This row, 58976, that can't be a 6. So now this can't be 5 or 4, that has to be a 1 in the circle. That places 1 over there. This one is not 1.
Yeah, sadly, the negative constraint
this
in
is
these
now,
3 cells
ooh,
never
what's
ended up
that?
being interesting.
Don't even know how that happened. This is a 2, 3, 4 triple. This can't be 3 by Sudoku, so that's where the 3 is. 3 to 4, 8, 9, 1. This is a 5, 6, 7 triple at the top. That's not allowed to be 5. This can't be 5 as well now. So this is the 5 in the box. Then we've got a 2, 3, 4 triple. We've also got a 2, 4 pair in the column, and that's a 1. And this is a 3. 3, 1, 6, 8, 7, 9. These are from 2, 4, 5. Oh, look, 3 is looking at that cell. So that's going to finish all of our corner boxes, which are the best clued boxes, allowing for the negative constraints. Down here we've got a 5
Almost
and a
all of the
4.
corner
And I
boxes,
don't
at
know
least.
the order, but I do know that makes this a 2. These are from 4, 5, 6. This should be done. 7 or 8 has to be higher than that. 6, 7. They're all the negative constraint things are forced to work. So the rest seems to be Sudoku. Bother. I know what Simon would think of that. Right,
Classic
this is
Simon
1,
moment.
4 or 7. 1, 8, 3, 9, 2, 6. This is 4, 5 or 7. This is 1, 4 or 7.
I'm sorry for breaking Mark's
3,
brain.
8, 9, 2, 6, 3, 8. This is 1, 4, 5 or 7. So why can't I see my way through to a conclusion at this point? Right, this central column, we've got a 3, a 5, 7, 8, 2, 4, 1 in the central. No, I was going to say one of those, but that would be ignoring this one possibility here. That can't be a 3. In fact, 3 is not possible in any more cells because we've got all the 3s in the grid. They're all high.
Yeah, exactly, Carabet.
Oh, 1 has come out of those cells.
That
That's
is
a
all it
definite
needs.
2, 9 pair. Do I know which way round? Or have I got a 1, 2, 4, 8, 9 quintuple? Not quite. 2 cells for 6 in this column, but 3 for 7. Oh, goodness me. Why won't it roll over? One of
I'm really
these is
impressed
a
he did this
6.
without that, because definitely the intended way is to use this digit.
It shouldn't be this Oh, look, there's a 2, 4 pair that I had not seen. That keeps 4 out of those cells. Does that
Bad
do
news
anything?
about what that's going to do. Yeah.
Not
When he said
really,
all the
no.
corner boxes are done, that was the problem.
Maybe there's one more negative constraint that I just haven't fixed fully.
Maybe
That's
there's a chance.
odd. Yes, it's this one, isn't it? It's this one. 9, 3, 2 would be
That's one of them.
impossible
I'm not
because
sure it's
there's
the
no
most useful
arrow.
one.
Oh my goodness, that's cruel. Well, it's cruel that I'm so slow. Right, now, that is apparently going to be enough, he says, as though he thinks it's true.
He has such good
9,
humor
3,
about this,
4,
which I greatly
1, 2.
appreciate.
Don't know what that is, or what these two are, or indeed anything about them. So let's have a look at this column again. Has something changed here? 6, 7, 8, 9. No, not. Oh, 4 there stops this being a 4. 4 is in one of these 2 cells. Oh, I'm feeling very dense today. Please, somebody tell me in the comments that they found this quite difficult too, because otherwise I'm just going to have to shrivel up in embarrassment. And I still can't see. Can there possibly
Look for the
be
Y-wing.
another negative constraint item that is going to rule one way or the other? There can't. There
I was
can't
trying to
be
squint
any.
and see if
There
I could
aren't
find an
anymore.
XYZ wing if I squint.
The rest is Sudoku. So now there's going to be some hideous Y-wing or something.
Oh, now good. He's looking for the Y-wing.
Let's get rid of the colour. That's not doing anything for me anymore. Okay, let's just focus. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got a 9 X-wing there and a 2 X-wing with it. That's going to mean that 9 and 2
Imagine if this puzzle actually did resolve with
ending
a Y-wing.
up in...
I feel like people would rightly throw shoes
Well,
at
that's
me.
going to mean that there's an 8 and a 1 in different rows, not in the same row. What does that tell me? I do not know.
And Simon and Mark do so many puzzles by so many people. I can only imagine that they don't have a great sense of exactly what anyone or any one particular setter would or wouldn't do. Like I don't think they know all the like zetamath meta tricks to know this sort of thing, because they just like they do so many puzzles per day.
Goodness me, I don't know what to do. Nine, 2, 6, 3, 8. So 1 and 7 do reside in this row. 1 is in one of those cells, as it is for here, and then there's 2, 9, 9, 8. I do quite like that deduction that 1 and 8 have to be in different rows, either there or there. But what else does that mean?
How
That
emotional do you
means-
think his response is going to be when he spots?
Does
what's-
that
what's been
mean-
missing?
Well, if it was that way round, this digit would have to be 8. Which is really quite interesting. But if it was this way round, 1 and 8...
I would definitely be open to putting a Y-wing or an XYZ wing in a puzzle if it was clearly telegraphed that it was a like classic Sudoku technique puzzle. Like I've done like a skyscraper puzzle and a few like row column counting puzzles and those sorts of things. I'm open to doing it. It's a little tricky to set up. I've tried very hard at various points to set up a Y-wing Philomeno Sudoku, but I've not quite been able to do it.
I don't know. Oh, it's this one. Look at this little beastie. 6, 7, 8. Why am I so bad at spotting them? Oh, it's an embarrassment. Right. That is going to sort it all out. The 8 goes into the 8 row. That goes into the 9 row. That goes into the 2 row. That 1 gives us 7, 5, 4, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7. There we go. That's been terrible. That's one of my worst solves ever. It's a lovely puzzle, but it's one of my worst efforts. Oh dear, I'm not expecting a lot of comfort from the comments today. Oh dear. Thank you, zetamath. It's a good puzzle, but wow, that really found an Achilles heel that I didn't know I had. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Well, I'm glad Mark had good humor about it. That is very funny. Maybe this is why Rossini is not an oft used rule set anymore. Maybe it turns out that it just begs for you to miss key scanning, things like that. But anyway, I better end stream now before stream crashes for the 80th time during this. But thank you all for joining me. Huge thank you. Yeah, I don't even think that's the most frustrated I've seen Mark solving one of my puzzles, even. I think the most frustrated I've seen Mark solving one of my puzzles is probably in Jello. But all right, everyone, have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll be back streaming again on Sunday, unless it is a Tristan 100 stream. I'm not sure, but we'll be back. We'll be soon. And bye everyone for now. See you next time.